Hello, friends. I am opening up this box so we can dive into Luigi. Happy Wednesday. I cannot believe we are so far into March and almost into April. This life is just flying by. So, if you remember, during Mario Week, when I was building Mario, it was the day after we found out about the Luigi set. And I was so excited and hopeful that I would get a chance to build it, but I was a little disappointed thinking that I'd already purchased Mario and thought, Mario was really expensive. I don't know if I need to buy Luigi as well. And at that point, they'd already sent out review sets to people, but they had an extra and they sent me one. So I got super, super duper lucky. So we're going to build him today. So yes, he arrived yesterday, Monday, I think on Monday. And yeah, I am thrilled to get to have him join his friend because I finished Mario actually today. Ta-da! Right over here. Beautiful sculpt. I'm super impressed with the sculpting for him. Really, really well done, well designed. It's actually an interesting study into building with odd numbers. So oftentimes when we do sculpting and stuff like that, we build with even numbers, where it's like 4 studs wide or 6 studs wide. There's a lot of this portion with Mario where it's 5 studs wide and 3 studs wide. So it's a little bit different than what we're used to doing. So anyway, really, really cool. Because last time we built the cart first, because that's how the instructions typically go, I think with Luigi, we will dive into Luigi first, which will probably be the latter part of the build. So let me organize all the all the bags. Oh my goodness! So Mario had 17 bags. It had 1,972 pieces. Luigi has 2,234 pieces, so far more pieces, and so far at least 22 bags. So it's going to be a little bit bigger of a set than it looks like. I think scale-wise, it'll still match and fit the scale effectively of Mario, but yeah, definitely going to be a larger build. So typically, I try to sort all this ahead of time, but not today. We have been on the phone with our vet, getting more information about Penny and figuring out what we can do to help her reduce her coughing. And actually, they're supposed to call back shortly. So if they do, I may pause this and take the call just to be able to fill her meds. So, oh, the joys of life, right? Okay, here's bag 1, 2, 3. Okay. Looks like 22 bags total. Let me get the instructions out and we will see if the latter part of the instructions is our friend, Luigi. And if so, I'll prioritize organizing those. Right, also fun to get the set with all paper instead of the plastic that Mario came with. Oh my gosh! So cute. So cute. And I like that both the instruction books have them facing forward like this. So, right. It looks like with this, I'm guessing we're going to dive into, oh my gosh, they're going to look so good together. I think the first bags, yeah. So the cart is going to be through bag 1 until, oh wow. The cart actually is a lot more detailed or a lot larger and has more build around it than Mario's, which means it uses far more bags, which makes sense that just scale-wise, when you look at it, it's more covered, whereas Mario's cart is a little bit more open. Okay, here's the stand. All right, starting in bag 15 is where we're going to begin, and that's when we get to Luigi. So let me take the rest of these off the table. Okay. 5, 12, 13, 7. 14, 8. Okay, I think this is all of them. There's also this extra, so I'm going to leave this one out just in case you need that for him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, here we go. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. All right. Here we are, friends. This is Luigi. So that's what we're going to do today. So before the live stream started, I put a Q&A up of share your favorite memory of Mario Kart or Lego Mario sets. So in the chat, I'd love for y'all to share. So yeah, yay, Luigi time. I'm just now seeing, I realized the chat feature was stuck in the Q&A section. So I didn't see any of your notes yet. Hi, friends. You just finished Luigi about an hour ago. Yay, Maya, that's so fun. Also, hi, good stuff. And you had a blast at Brickcentric. Brandon, I'm so excited. Was this your first Lego convention? I can't remember if that's what you said, but if so, either way, I'm so excited for you. I'm glad that you went and had a good time. I have some friends that were there. My friend Brian, his wife is Jill, who runs Brick Bling by Jill. So you may have seen her store. We've gotten a lot of earrings and things from her before. But she and Brian were there, and Brian walked around and gave me a brief tour. So like 4 minutes, real short, but a brief tour of the hall. And it was nice to see kind of how things were set up. And yeah, we heard some good things from people. Yay, awesome. Well, I'm so happy that you went to your first Lego convention. Congratulations. And I hope you go to many more afterwards. You met Crystal. Awesome. She is so fun. I have really loved getting to hang out with her and spend some time with her, especially since Lego Masters. She has been so kind and friendly and fun and welcoming. And she's just silly too, which I love. I love when people can be silly and let loose and just have a good time. So I'm glad that you got a chance to meet her. Okay, so first thing I'm noticing with Luigi is it's the lighter green color, the bright green color. I love that color a little bit better than the darker green. I just think it's fun. It's more happy and positive and upbeat to me. And so I'm excited to see that we're getting more parts in that color. The more parts that we get, the more variety we have with Mach building. So excited to see what of the new parts we're getting in that. From the start, I see this one, which I love. And we're getting it also in white. We got it in red with Mario. When I was building him this morning, I noticed that. So nice to see that newer to me piece showing up in different colors. And yeah, lots of really interesting bracket techniques for building out these characters and the internal details of these characters. I'm so impressed with the way the Lego designers figured all this out. So I agree, it's totally more vibrant. It's a much more vibrant color and shape. Brandon, who else did you meet? And tell us about some of your favorite builds that you saw. I'm really excited to see what new things are coming to the convention circuit as people start making their way from show to show. Maya, just the other day, I was talking with someone about Bricks in the Six. I'm trying to remember who it was. Of course, I can't remember now that I'm put on the spot with it. But someone was just talking about it. And I was like, yes, that's been on our list to go. We would love to go and see our friends. But I can't remember who that was. So, yay, you saw a couple of the Legola guys. Nice, good stuff. Have you gotten to be involved in any of the events or activities from them? I'm not sure how close they are to where you live. I think Christopher and Chad are both a part of that group, if I'm not mistaken. We got to spend some time with them at Scareback in Denmark this summer, which was really fun and really cool. So yeah, I know that they were there. John, my partner from Lego Masters, was supposed to be there and ended up not being able to go. So I was really bummed for him because he was super excited about it, but just had something come up to where he wasn't able to make it. I did hear that some others in our season, though, were there. I think Corey and Rebecca, and I think Krista was there. Maya, do you remember anybody else that we saw that was saying that they were going? One of my favorite things about conventions is that chance to reconnect with friends. So yeah, nice, good stuff. That's awesome, Brandon. I'm excited that you had this opportunity to see some things. Were there any mocks that really stood out to you? The car has a lot of cool angles with ball joints and bar clip connections. Yay! I'm excited to build it. I actually really loved building out the cart for Mario, which I did on Mario Day, or March 11th, the day after, but I still pretended like it was still Mario Day. So Luigi was a super fun to build with the hands are so intricate. Yeah, I was surprised with the hands on Mario, so I'm curious. I'll find out now as I'm going through how similar those builds are. I'm guessing very similar because they're meant to be kind of companions to each other. As I was building Mario today, I filmed it in time-lapse mode and did a quick video that I just shared to Instagram to show people kind of the build process and whatnot. But as I was building him, I was thinking, how much fun would it be to take these concepts and see if I can apply it to building a new version of a different character that we haven't seen yet. So shameless plug, Bricks in the Six is November 11th to 15th this year. Nice. So Brandon, you're going to need to make your way up north, up to Canada for Bricks in the Six. That's your new homework assignment. We want to go. I don't know that we're going to make it this year because our travel funds are limited, and we've got an expensive trip coming up this weekend and all of next week. Speaking of, I won't have a live stream next week because we will be out of the country on a fun adventure. So very excited for that, but also a little nervous to be away from Penny for that long because she's got some new meds and things that she's navigating, but she'll be fine. She'll be fine. Speaking of new characters, I was thinking about trying to build Yoshi. Yes, awesome. I love that idea. I was thinking about building Princess Peach. So maybe we can challenge each other to figure out builds for those two characters and add them to the fun. That would be really fun. I won't be getting to that anytime soon since we'll be gone for a little bit, but that was what was on my mind. So I love that. And I really hope you do build your Yoshi because I want to see it. I'm actually assuming that we will get maybe one more Mario Kart set. And if so, my assumption is that they would do one of those two characters. I would love to see both. And with both, it'd be really fun if they were on motorcycles. I think that'd be really cool. So we'll see. We'll have to wait and see the future of Mario Kart. Challenge accepted. Yes, awesome. I love this. This will be fun. Yeah, we're traveling starting Sunday and then back later into April. And so once we're back, then I can start thinking about working on that build, but feel free to dive in whenever you're ready. That's really fun. And I love these character sculpts. With Mario, I haven't played with him yet much. I just finished it, I don't know, like 45 minutes ago. It was very, very quick. But with him, I was a little disappointed that he can't stand up, that his legs are straight sticking out, but I'm wondering if it is possible to adjust it. So, and TM31's Disneyland attraction recreations. Yay! Awesome. I love that. Did you say another one above? You did, and I missed it. As for models, one of my favorite was a Legoland California microscale model. So fun. Okay, I'm going to have to check that out and see. Do you remember which builder built that one? And then I'll definitely have to see TM31's. I may have seen TM31's already on Instagram. I feel like I've seen some of them, but I'll have to double check and see. But that is so fun. I love that both were there at the convention. That's really cool. So yay. Fun, fun, fun. But yeah, I think I was hoping that Mario could like stand and then I could have him like walking and posing and things. And I don't know that he can, so I'll have to play around with it and see. Maya, do you have the Mario set as well? I love these. And I'm so glad that they came out with them. Mario Kart is a very nostalgic game for me. So the Mach Maker, awesome, cool. Thank you. I will check it out. That is so fun. I love to see when people recreate theme parks and rides and all kinds of things. Like that's super interesting. Okay, so build techniques are similar so far with this. We're getting a really intricate core that has lots of snot building techniques and bracket techniques as well. And then it looks like where the arms attach, we're using the same technique that the Mario set did as well, which is putting on these gears in a way that makes it a little bit harder to turn the arms, and that way they can stay and hold their positions a little bit more too. She also built various attractions. Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out. So yeah, so like what I was saying, we've got these gears here on the left and the right, and there's going to be one more in the middle, and the middle one is going to be attached, or where the arms attach, I believe. But yeah, that way you can pose them. And these gears kind of hold it firmly in place, so they don't just like fall over with the weight of gravity. So yeah. Luigi is also obviously a little bit taller than Mario, so it'll be fun to see how they adjust that. Luigi is my very first Mario set. Nice, so fun. But I love playing the Mario Kart games and Super Mario for Super Nintendo. We always pull those games out for the holidays with the family. I love that so much, Maya. I grew up with a regular Nintendo, the original, and when my younger brother was born, or was old enough to play games, my parents got him a Nintendo 64. And so I played games on both of those systems as well as on a Game Boy. But we skipped the Super Nintendo phase at our house because we already had the Nintendo and had invested in the games there. And so I would only get a chance to play that if I was at a friend's house. And then when when Nintendo released the Nintendo Classic and the Super Nintendo Classic, we ended up buying the Super Nintendo Classic. And so I really loved playing on that as well. And when I moved to Austin, I bought a Wii. And so that was when I got to play Mario Kart again. And loved it. I loved it, and loved playing with my nieces and nephews through the magic of the internet, which I remember thinking it was so cool that you could do games that way. And now that's basically how games are almost all done, which is wild. So, so fun. Hey, did your dad have a birthday party? His birthday, I think, is this week, if I'm not mistaken. But I saw some photos that looked like y'all had a big celebration for him. If so, I would love to have been able to surprise y'all and dive into the celebration and say, hi, happy birthday. So, but it looked like a lot of fun, which is exciting. And maybe those pictures were from something else, but all right. Also, I'm liking that we're using navy blue for him because Mario uses regular blue. So I'm wondering if on his outfit, I'll take a look in a minute, but I'm guessing that his is navy blue and that more vibrant green, and Mario's is the traditional red and blue. So Maya, a set that I would highly recommend if you liked this Mario build is this one over here. Actually, both of these here. So the Piranha Plant is super fun and is also nice and small. So it's a reasonable, easy one to put together and doesn't take up a ton of space. And then the other one that does take up a ton of space but is totally worth it is Bowser. That was one that I requested to review because I just was so excited about him. And I think I built him last year on Mario Day. Yes, he had a big party. Yay! Okay, but his birthday's this coming Saturday. I thought so. Yeah. Luigi has the perfect colors in this set. I agree. Like this is, I'm so excited. So excited. And yeah, I do like that they chose that darker blue. I think that was a good option for him. Also, the way they do the buttons, which I'm about to get to, I think is so clever. I was so excited about it on Mario, the 2 buttons here and here on his overalls. Just super fun. As I was building out Mario 2, actually Mario Kart, I thought maybe I should be Mario for Halloween this year. that would be fun. I could completely shave off this. I could grow this out a little bit more, and then maybe make it black because there's a little bit of salt and pepper in there. And if I wear a hat, you don't see all the colorful hair, so that might help with that piece of it. Choosing to have bright, bold, colorful hair means any Halloween costume. Either I need to wear a wig, which I haven't done yet, or they just need to be okay being a character with colorful hair. You've been enjoying the sculpting, so maybe I'll request those ones to try. Yes, for sure. I can't remember if Bowser is still available or if he retired. But if he is still available, I highly recommend that one. It was such an interesting sculpt. And it's very, very large. It took a lot of time to do, but it was absolutely worth it. And one of my favorites to have out on display. So you have been Princess Peach for Halloween. I love that. Yes, always a good choice for sure. Brandon and others too, do y'all dress up for Halloween? And if so, what are some of your favorite outfits that you've worn, or costumes rather? I enjoy dressing up now. I didn't really as a kid. My family didn't really get much into it, and it was just kind of not something that was all that much of what we did as kids. And so really it was in adulthood that I started to have more fun with it. And I've been all different types of characters, but I want to say my favorite was probably when I was the elf on the shelf. It was before I had any facial hair. And definitely with my baby face and putting on the rosy cheeks and everything, I looked kind of like an elf on the shelf for real. So we did like a mini photo shoot. I worked at the university, and so my colleagues and I did like a mini photo shoot on campus, and with me sitting in various places on campus in elf on the shelf poses, and it was just so much fun. I've actually done that one twice. The second time I did have my facial hair, and so I left it on, and it didn't quite have the same impact, but it was still fun. And then another that I loved was Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors. That's one of my favorite shows, Broadway shows, and I love the music so much. And that is a character that is a wish list character for me that I would love to play someday if I were to go back into doing theater again. So that was really, really fun. Oh my gosh, yes, I will have to share an elf on the shelf picture with you. It's like ridiculous fun. So let's see, I usually dress up in bounding clothes since actual costumes are mahal, tagging for tagalog for expensive. Totally fair, yes. And when you say bounding clothes, what does bounding clothes mean? Help me understand. This is really fun. So yeah, we often will kind of hand make our own costumes. So in both of those cases, it was going to thrift shops for the Seymour character. And then I bought the piranha plant. Actually, oh my gosh, speaking of Mario, I bought a puppet of the piranha plant. And I bought some fabric that I covered the red and white with this green fabric that had these bumps on it. And it worked really well. It was super fun. And then it was also nice that for my costume, I could have the puppet moving on it. So it's like sticking out of a pot. It was perfect. So that one was, I think that's the only thing I bought full price, and the other parts of it were thrift shop stuff. And then for the elf on the shelf, I bought a super cheap zippered red onesie. And then I bought white fabric to cut out the like white star type neck collar thing. and then made the hat out of red and white felt. It was super, super fun. Costumes made of everyday or upcycled clothing. Awesome. Thank you very much. So yeah, I guess that was the same type of thing that I did for mine. One of my favorite outfits was a Shiz University student from Wicked. I first used this outfit at Universal during FanFest nights. Okay, Brandon, I need to see a picture of this. I also was a Shiz University student last year. Also a handmade costume that we worked on together from stuff that we got from thrift shops. Philip is so smart with this type of stuff and so good at thrifting and also just upcycling things into other things, which is really cool. It's one of my favorite things that that he does. I really love that that's a hobby for him. And because of that, he loves making his costumes every year. And last year, he actually made mine as well, or most of mine. I worked on part of it, but he actually did the bulk of it because I was busy working on the Lego Wicked project. And he was like, well, you have to have a really good Wicked costume. So he helped me with that piece, which was really nice. And the stitching that we did around the jacket was actually from a t-shirt, tank top t-shirt that Philip found that had the right color mixing patterns, and it worked beautifully. It was so, so, so cool. So yay, awesome. Thanks, Brandon. Excited to see it. And I'll share my pictures on Discord, and Maya, I will also text one to you so that you have it as well. So hi, friend. How's it going? Happy evening. I think it is your time. We are building Luigi. And I decided that we are going to start with the actual Luigi as opposed to with the cart. Since last time when we did a Mario one, we started with the cart. So, and yeah, like I said too, I'm gonna have to take a phone call when the pharmacy calls to address Penny's meds. So that may happen while we're on this call. Philip is on some calls for his job in the other room. So it's like, well, I am probably more able to take that. So if that happens, I'll let you know, and we'll pause kind of for a moment while I handle that. But until that happens, we're here. So we've been loving doing family costumes. I've loved your family costumes. It's been super cute. My favorites have been Mario, Adam's family, you were Morticia, and Scooby-Doo. I think I saw the Scooby-Doo picture. I can't remember. I love seeing myself in different hair colors. Yes. I love that. And your hair is so long and beautiful as is, but that must be a ton of hair to hide underneath a wig. I would imagine that would be a lot to handle. So, let's see. Umaya, tell us about the thing that you did where you crashed the event with some of the other Canadian Lego Masters that Brickman was doing. I'm curious as to what that was. Your t-shirt looks nice. Where's it from? Thank you. This is from Brick Slopes. So this was 2 years ago, 2024. And I love that they design their own shirts every year, which is great. But one of the things that I love the most is that with this one, they did a female minifigure, which all of my other shirts, I didn't realize until getting this one. All my other shirts from conventions were always a male minifigure. So I was excited to see that in there. The link for the Discord, I will have to share afterward, I think. I don't know that, well, I wonder if I can share a link in here. Maybe I can. Let me see in a second. You've been pretty skilled at hiding your hair in scrub caps. Oh, that's fair. I guess that's true. You do have some experience with that, I suppose. So, all right, let's see. The use of clips, also clips and bars through the body of Mario, was really interesting to me as well. I was super impressed with the way all of that just came together so seamlessly. And it allows for some really intricate angles that work perfectly for his hat and face shape and everything. Chef's kiss to the designers for sure. I'm guessing the designer for Mario also worked on the design for Luigi, but I'm curious to know. So I'm going to see if I can get that information because I just want to know all the things, all the details. So yeah, it'd be fun to find out. If I find out, I will let you all know. All right, almost done with this bag, and then I'm going to pull over Mario so that we can see a comparison of the two as we're going through. The other thing that I've loved as I was building out Mario today was seeing the various ways that they use interesting techniques to switch the stud direction so that you're building up and then all of a sudden you're building upside down and all that kind of stuff. It's just really well done and has some interesting techniques. So yeah, I will have to probably take some of Mario apart to demonstrate and show some of that as well. And for those of you that are participating in the build challenge, I haven't forgotten about April. I have all of the pieces ready to film my tutorial. And so that is my goal to do this evening. And I will have that filmed and ready to go so that then I can share it for people to get started on their building. So, all right, here are the really, really super cool buttons. So using the rounded boat studs is what these are often informally called because they go on the bottoms of boats. And then using these jumper plates that are round, which on Mario it's slightly different, but it's similar. On Mario, they use the half jumper plate that has the stud on it, and then they use the other half that's just like flat. These now, on Mario, they actually connect on a clip that's upside down. On this one, though, whoops, oops, they slide onto these, come on, there we go. It slides onto this little bar. That's the clip, the bar clip. That actually is more sturdy than the Mario. The Mario one, when I was moving the arms to pose, it knocked off the button at one point. So I think that's probably why they switched to this approach. Which is fun to see different approaches, even if that was just a design decision that had nothing to do with stability. It's neat to see them doing different things, but I am curious to know if that's why they did it. So thankfully, it was well received by all. Yay! So that was the Brickman had his Jurassic exhibit in Edmonton. Okay, a bunch of Canadian AFOLs decided to go check it out. We decided to order inflatable ride-on T-Rex costumes to crash it. Okay, that's brilliant. I love that so much. Yeah, I saw the photo with all of y'all on Instagram, and I just thought it was adorable. So super, super cool. All right, we are done with bags 15 and 16. So here's 2 bags worth. You can see his legs are going to attach in here. We've got those clips or the cups for the ball joints that'll attach the legs, and then the arms are going to attach here and here using those axles and the head here. Really, really nice setup though. I'm going to pull out Mario from his cart real quick and show you the way he works. So he's ever so slightly studded down, but not too much, which is nice. So they make it so that he's seated on a rectangle, and that rectangle is permanently attached to him. So this is what I was talking about. I was really hoping that we could get it to where you could slide his legs down and have him stand. But the way that these are attached, since this rectangle is here, but also since there's some detailing on the sides to show that the closed ends of the legs, you can't actually rotate it all the way down. So he can't stand. He could just be like crawling with his head completely on the ground. The arms can go up and down though. So you can see here the hands at the wrist, they can turn, the thumb can go up and down as well. And then the arms can go up and down. The head can rotate all the way around. I'm not going to do that because that's creepy. But you can see already, height-wise, that with the torso, Luigi looks like 1 brick taller, maybe not. Maybe not, actually. We'll see. I think so, though. It looks like he's going to be, yeah, it looks like, oh, no, yeah, 1 or maybe even 2 bricks taller. So we'll just put Mario over here, watching along as his friend gets built. I'm going to move the bags over here. There we go. He can be just kind of hanging out as we start playing together. So I love that it was well received. I would assume that Brickman is a very silly, funny man, and seems like he would be open to a joke. So glad to hear that that was the case for y'all. And also, you just have such delightful Canadian friends that are in your AFOL community and in your Lego Masters AFOL community in particular. Everyone has been so warm and welcoming and kind and friendly and fun. And it just makes me even more so want to go and see y'all at Bricks in the Six. So, plus, I want to see your dad. I really miss him. I feel like I get to chat with him all the time because he's so engaged online, but at the same time, it's not the same. I haven't seen him since we filmed. And same with Alex and Tone, and I'm tired of it. They're too far away. Just kidding. I mean, I do miss them for sure, but I'm not super angry about it by any means. It's just more motivation, though, to make sure that we go to Bricks in the Six. So. I was hoping we could swing Cascade this year, and that is not going to happen either, which is a bummer. But it is looking more likely that I'll be going to Brick Slopes in Utah again. Fingers crossed. Everything hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but that is on the agenda if possible. And hopefully Philip can come with me, but we're not exactly sure. With everything, travel being so expensive and such, we're just needing to think through all of that pretty intentionally. So the good thing is we are all so close together too, if you make it up. Yes, agreed. I can come up and see all the wonderful people all at once. And then maybe just stay forever. Okay, how does this go on? Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So yeah, like, y'all, this is just so interesting, right? We're using all these different snot bricks and creating all these unique directions and such. And this is possibly to make a leg. He might have knees more so than Mario does. Mario kind of does. Like, you can see where the studs are here. There's a little bit of a knee, but this looks a little bit more like, we will keep you here in Canada. That's honestly my dream. Sounds good. So yes. Yeah, Philip also is very excited to get to experience Canada too. So that's it's been on our list. We had a trip planned to the Pacific Northwest, and we were going to go up to that side of Canada and go to Bricks Cascade, and then make it into a longer trip. And that was 1 year. And then the next year, we were going to do the other side of Canada, which is where y'all are, near Toronto and such. And that was all supposed to happen in COVID. And then, of course, the world was like, nope, you're not traveling anywhere. You were staying put. And so we both have felt like there's this long delayed trip to Pacific Northwest first. So yeah, that's where Bricks Cascade was on the list for this year, but it may turn out that we don't do that one first. I don't know. All right, say hello to the kiddo and hello to everybody over there. Yeah, and if you're here, happy to have you join again. So safe trip to the school. All right. So for the others of y'all on here as well, are you interested in and wanting to get some of these Mario sets, or are they not your jam? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are with that. I was very, very excited about both. The Mario Kart one last year when it was announced, I was like, this is what I was wanting from the Nintendo partnership. So that actually, when Bowser was first announced, that was my first thought, was like, this is what I wanted. I know that it makes sense for them to do all of the really cool and interesting ones with the characters that read the QR code type scanning, where you can play the game. And I've actually toyed around with it a little bit and love it. I was more impressed with it than I thought I was going to be. but what I would want most of all is sculpted characters and larger display sets. So I love that they found a way to kind of bridge that and reach both types of audiences that would be interested in Nintendo stuff. There have been plenty of sculpted builds that are just gorgeous and really well done. So I'm glad that they're also thinking about that as well, because that fits my desire with all of this stuff. So I have loved, as you can see behind me, all of those sculpted builds that came from the Pokemon sets too. And I don't know, I'm really drawn to these characters. The character building stuff is really appealing to me. So, all right. So I'm noticing with these legs, or with these shoes, that his feet are going to be one plate longer than our friend Mario too. So little tiny details and intentional thought there just adds to the fun of all of this as well. So probably not unless they have small sets under 30 pounds or $30. I'm not that up to date with new Lego sets, to be honest. Totally fair. Yeah, it gets so expensive so easily, for sure. That, I get that it's not possible for a lot of people to even get multiples of any types of sets. It's like you have to pick between, if you're going to get a big set, Mario, Luigi, Bowser, or maybe none of them. So yeah. Okay, last you checked, you couldn't find the Discord link. Oh, bummer. Okay, let me see if I can find it real quick and drop it in the chat and see if it works here. I hadn't tried. Let's see. Okay, that's TextLugs, the wrong Discord. Let me find mine. Here we go. Okay, let me do this and then click here, invite to server. Copy. Oh, it says, oops, we've got an ultra rare error. Let me try. Okay, now it's refreshing. Please hold. While that refreshes, I will come back here, and then I'll check again in just a minute, Brandon. It got weird and froze. So now I've got the Discord steering wheel type gaming controls spinning on the screen where Discord was. So yes, please hold. I will get back to you on that though. All right. Wait a minute. Something is. Okay. This goes upside down the other way. I feel like something is actually, you know what? These aren't taller. It's just that they changed the, I was thinking these feet were a little bit bigger, but it's not that at all. It's that they changed the depth of the curved pieces. So these pieces now used to come one deeper, and they're less than that now. So, okay, let me check if it stops. No, it's still swirling. Let me refresh it intentionally and see if that works. Yeah. Now it froze on a different page. Come on, Discord. Okay. I hit refresh again. It's kind of frozen, so I'll keep looking back and seeing. So Luigi's shoe is different in the games. Oh, really? How is it different? I did not know that, and I'm curious as to what is different here. So he's got the brown shoe, which is the same as Mario, but the bottom of his shoe looks like it's going to be a little bit different. So you can see on Mario's, we have these round kind of soles to the shoes. On this one, we're not getting that. And I don't know if we're just not getting soles. Yeah, there's no soles on the shoes, which is interesting. And also there's this open gap that we see for the shoe. And his knees go up and down, so you don't see the bottom of his feet when he's sitting as much as you do with Mario. But I'm curious. You'll try and send the link. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's like, it just shows a page that says, did you know? And it has like a fun fact about Discord, which I guess is like what it says when it's waiting to try and load. So kind of annoying. Come on, Discord, work with me here. Okay, so let's finish this shoe though. I do love the little pant leg piece that kind of makes it look like the fabric is pulling a little bit around the shoe. It's just a fun, clever detail. And we get the same thing with his with their gloves, where you see kind of the white part of the glove that's a little bit bigger too around the bottom. So, all right, so this goes on here, and then the shoe connects here. Yeah, this is interesting that we're not getting, surprised that we're not getting a sole to the shoe like we have for Mario, so. Okay, you sent the link, but you don't think it shows up in the chat. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so frustrating. This is why I was saying, like, I don't know that I can send links in here. Maybe it'll let me since I'm the host. So I'll check again, Brandon. This is so ridiculous. I'll check again though and see if I can get it to work. And if so, I'll drop it in there. And if not, if you'll ping me if you're on Instagram, I think you are. If you DM me, I can send you the link. Yeah, it's stuff like this where I'm like, I like the technology and all the different things that we can do with it, but I also get frustrated with it when it's not working the way that I want it to. So. But I do love our little Discord community. It's fun that that's growing, and we're getting more and more people who are joining, which is a lot of fun. We had 9 builders for the second, technically, of the monthly build tech challenges, since the first one we counted was the one where we did the habitat challenge together. And it's just been a lot of fun. So I'm excited to see what people build for this next challenge. I'm really looking forward to where people go with this one. So you'll have to wait and see what the prompt is, but I promise that I will film it and edit it tonight so that I can share it and get it up there. So, okay, my tab is in the background, so I just need to keep flipping around to see. Yeah, this is just not going to want to work for me. Come on, let me just try typing in discord.com and starting over. Okay, there we go. Now open Discord. Okay, great. Okay, it's opening. Wait, spinning steering wheel. Okay, it's still spinning, so I'm going to let it spiral. Frustrating. Was it the prompt of how to build a sphere? It is not that prompt. That will be a future one, but I decided to do something different. Excited to... I'm saving the sphere for a little bit longer because I have a longer tutorial that I want to do with the sphere that requires some additional parts and such. And this other one I basically had ready to go. So you'll see, but I like the guessing. Close, but not quite. So let's see here. Next up is the other leg. Yeah, these sculpts though, like, so the new pieces for this set were the nose piece, which is all one solid piece, and the mustache piece, which is also one solid piece. So I love that those were both created specifically for this set. And I want to say Luigi's nose is the same. Looks like it is. His mustache certainly is. And so I know that they were able to for sure say that the mustache would be in 2 sets. So anytime they make a new mold for any Lego things, they have to justify the use of it. For a set this expensive, I think they could probably justify the use of it anyway. But yeah, it's fun that they were able to for sure be able to use it multiple times. So. Super fun. Okay, why did that go? Oh, wait, is it this way? There we go. Okay, cool. All right. So, yeah, I do like that his knees are bent because he's got longer legs. It's like when I drive a tiny car. My long legs always get bent underneath me whenever I'm in like a go-kart or something, or sometimes just a regular car too. Hello. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Are you on lunch break, friend? We're building Luigi. He arrived just in time for the live stream, so I'm very excited to build him this week. I was debating building something else that was just another backlog set that's still a review set, but it's one that's already on store shelves. But then I realized, you know what? This one's not on store shelves yet, and I really want to build him, so we're going to dive in. So super duper fun. Okay, wait. What did I do wrong here? Oh, that's what I did wrong. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm liking that he's got these bent knees. It's an interesting change. So there's a knee. Hi, Bev. You just got home for the day. Nice, nice. How was work? Was it a good day? I'm guessing that you currently have all the Easter cards out right now. So I'm trying to think. The next thing might be Mother's Day, or are we at the time of graduation already? Or is that still like to come after the Mother's Day wave? One of my favorite things about life is to celebrate all the things. So I love greeting cards, and I love how you're constantly surrounded with the thought of what's coming up next to celebrate. That's really fun. A really fun aspect about your job. So work was good. Yep, all the Easter's up, of course. You put mom and grad up in 2 weeks. Okay, cool. Good stuff. Was it going to say grad, I would assume, would come out shortly around that time, because there's that long range of when people hit graduation, since it's different around the country and around the world. And also it's different for like K through 12 versus college. So fun, fun, fun. Bevan, Missy, are you personally excited about these Mario sets, or are these ones that you're going to pass on? I was over the moon about them, so personally very excited. But yeah, definitely understand that it's not for everyone. So yeah, I'm ever so slightly annoyed with the bottom of Luigi's shoes. I feel like it needs a little bit more finishing. Now, the way that he installs inside the cart, I'm sure would hide a lot of that to where it's not necessary. But even to me, with that hidden piece, I still feel like we should have done something to cover up that gap, and the little axle section, because it looks so clean with the way that Mario's is done. So interesting that they're going to be a little bit different. But you know what? That's okay. They didn't consult me on this one, so I guess I couldn't give them that feedback. Not really into Mario, but you like watching the builds. Nice. Yeah, I had wondered, because obviously I knew that y'all were big Pokemon fans, and we talked about how you enjoy just kind of watching builds in general, which is fun. After that, when I was like, is everyone going to leave me and stop joining the live streams after Pokemon's done, or until the next Pokemon ones come out? So I'm glad that y'all have still continued to join. We've had a good time here. So it's a good crew. Really enjoy spending time with y'all. Okay, something. Oh, nope, that looks right. Yeah, look at that. So this is how I have to sit whenever I'm driving, whenever I'm in any type of place. More often than not, I actually tuck my legs completely underneath me, because my legs are so long, and it's not that comfortable. So I sympathize with my friend here, Luigi, who always has to have bent legs here. Rough life. It really is a rough life, let me tell you. Silly, silly. Okay. Whoops. All right. So here's where we're at so far. This is 3 bags worth of builds, I think, of building. And he's kind of towards the end. So, or he is the last portion of the build. So now it tells us to sit him in the car. But ultimately, we don't need to do that. We can still continue to build him without him seated in the car. And that's what we're going to do, because I don't have a car for him yet. We went in a different order this time. Yeah, like I was saying with the buttons, it's interesting how they did these techniques. So on Mario, these buttons, there's a clip here underneath that's upside down that you can see there. And then we use those round the bottom piece here is a round boat stud. And on top, we used that jumper plate that's like half of a round and then the other half is a tile. And that stud fits into that upside down clip. So that's how we get his buttons on, and then you can adjust them and twist them to be a little bit angled if you need to. But the challenge is sometimes when you move his arm, sometimes it bumps against that and knocks it off. Whereas on Luigi, we have a slightly different approach. Same concept, except the stud, the jumper plate is the entire circle, and then it slides on to this bar that we have here, the bar and clip. So that is going to hold it better in place, which is nice. Yeah, in both cases, it's like it's attached to where when you first attach it, obviously you can move the clip around, but once you start putting other pieces around it, it kind of locks it in place, which is good because you want it to stay kind of in one specific spot. So yeah. Ugh, I love this green so much. I'm so glad that we're getting more parts in this green. I think it'll be hopefully on like Pick a Brick to where we can use them in other builds and things too. So probably won't get the Mario Kart sets, but you're excited about the minifigs. Yes, I really hope that those minifig sets are outstanding and fun. I'm sure they will be. I was thrilled about that announcement. That was actually something that they kept from all of us in the Lego Investor Network. So we just found out when y'all did as well with Lego's announcement that day. But they did send us the information about Luigi that day to share, which had already been teased. And so it was already kind of a known thing that it was coming. But that's what we got to share with y'all. So it was a fun surprise for us too. And everyone that I've heard from about it is thrilled. And I'm right there with y'all. So really, really excited for that. And I'm hopeful that we'll also see that with that same treatment with Pokemon. But we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. No official news about that yet. So I'm excited to see as they continue the Pokemon partnership, if they move in a direction of not just the brick built characters. I clearly love them and had a lot of fun with the sculpts. But it'll be interesting to see. Okay, here's also another really fun part that I'm very excited is new to Lego's line. It is the corner of a cheese wedge. So teeny tiny piece that fits perfectly to where you can get cheese wedges to go naturally around a corner. So that'll be a new option for us here to make some more finished curves and things that don't look like they kind of jam into each other. I think that was a very smart addition to the lineup of parts for Lego. Let's see, where's the other? Here it is. Let's see here. Will you be building the Project Hail Mary set? I watched the movie on the weekend and it is the best movie ever. We did not get the set to review. So if I build it, I will either purchase it or I will request it to review in the limited amounts that they let us request for. I'm very excited for seeing the set. After watching the movie on Saturday, we loved it. Incredible film, very long, as most films are these days, but definitely worth the time. I absolutely loved the movie. So it is a set that now I'm even more keen to want to build. But no, as of right now, I don't have the set. So we'll have to wait and see if that's something I'm able to get. It also, when we request sets, it has to be sets that aren't back ordered as well. And so sometimes that makes it challenging to snag some of them. But it is one that I've considered adding to the list of sets that I want to review. So we shall see. So that one was a fun surprise when they announced that set. None of us saw that coming, so that was really cool. Okay, here is a perfect example. So when I was talking about in Mario, how I want to unbuild and show some of the cool details, it's actually in the arms, and we're seeing this with Luigi. So here with Luigi, we have, you see that little what do we call that? It's basically the stud right here, right there, that has the rod sticking up out of it. Flipping this upside down, so we have 2 square plates over a clip piece. You can then clip that on, and now it reverses the stud direction. So now there's a stud going up and down, which allows us to have some additional shaping here, which is so cool. Yeah, that was one of the techniques that I was very excited to see included in here. And there's actually in the arm, there are 2 different ways that they reverse stud direction. That was like, this is going to be a great teaching tool. So for those in my build community who are building along, 1 month we're going to do flipping stud direction, and I'm going to demonstrate from some different sets how that happens. You'll definitely see me demonstrate it from Mario as one of the examples. So stay tuned for that. It's not the next one, so just putting that out there that we will eventually get to that though. And similarly, we will eventually get to the sphere tutorial that you'd asked about. So just not quite yet. You like the shape of that cheese wedge? Agreed. It's fantastic, and you can see here it's right in the crevice of his elbow, and it works perfectly to create that shape of like the crux of an elbow in there as well. So very nice piece. And then we're using these long, tall, rounded pieces here for the arm as well. And once we have them in, you can see even better how that is shaped. So, yeah, look at that, y'all. It's so nice. It is so nice and so clean. And then here's the underside. This is what I was talking about. On the overside of this, on the upwards facing, we can put this large piece here. But now that we have the reverse stud direction, we can cap off the bottom with the rounded piece as well. And it makes just a super sleek and nice finished detail there. Like very cool for that shoulder joint. So yay, good job, team. Team Lego builders. Team Lego designers, I should say. And this is how the arms connect using this little piece here that has the axle hole in it. So this one can go up and down, and that allows us to move the arm up and down as well. So when we connect it though, we connect it on the, actually we connect it in the side here, and then it can rotate up and down, I should say, with the way the axles typically go. So pretty cool. Also, there are a number of printed parts in these Mario and Luigi sets. I love that it's all printed, which is really nice to see. It's a nice change from having to do stickers all the time. And for something this price point and size and scale, especially with where some of the large stickers would have to be, like the big L on the front of the car, which we also see on the front of Mario's car. You can't really see it. Let's see. This piece here, that is one plate that is printed with the M on it. And then some other shirts too. Thanks, Bev. This shirt was from Brick Slopes 2024. And what I was saying earlier about this shirt is it's one of my favorites from conventions. It's super cute. But one thing I love about it is it's the first convention shirt I've gotten where the minifigure that they chose to use is female coded. So typically it's a male coded minifigure that others have used for their designs. So that just made me so happy to see that they made that decision when they were designing it, because it's just adorable. And I just love her joy as she's like jumping or whatnot with all the different fun kind of garden-y type vibes around her. They included a little bag of minifig supplies and this minifigure in as giveaways for everybody at the convention as well. And so everyone got to walk home with this lovely little lady to do the gardening and enjoy all of her outdoorsy fun, which is fun, and it had lots of butterflies and flowers and all different types of things. So great for some interesting floral type builds. And I think it was even the same year that the botanical gardens came out. So it was like perfectly timed, which I think was like completely unintentional, but like a happy accident. So that's my long story to say thank you. I like the shirt too. The theme was something about grow. It doesn't say on here, but it was something about grow or growth. And so they went the kind of garden route with plants and growth and that kind of thing too. So there were a lot of builds where people built plants, which was really fun. They always do an extra trophy for people who build to the theme. And that year, we saw a lot of builds that had some type of floral type thing to them. Last year, their theme was A Pirate's Life for Me, and there were 10 times the number of builds for the theme in particular, because that Utah crew in particular is obsessed with pirates. If you know Cody from Instagram, Cody O, he is the head of Brick Slopes with Brian. The two of them headed up together, and they both love and are obsessed with pirates. And so it was like meant to be their theme last year, which was super fun. And that shirt is another one that I love to wear. Those slopes shirts, the designs are just super cute and clever. And yeah, designed by Brian and Cody's team. So it's really fun. And then for Brick Rodeo, our shirts have, when it's in Austin, have historically been designed by the one, the only Will Heron. So our good friend Will. And so those ones are also silly and fun. And I love that they often include a minifigure. You know, I had said that was the first convention shirt that had a female minifigure, but now that I think about it, we had a Lady Liberty one. So I think of her as a statue, not as a person, but I guess that would be a female coated minifigure too. So I was mistaken with what I had to say there, but regardless, it's fun to have a fun little lady who enjoys her gardening on my shirt. So, and I love the green. It's just nice and cute. Okay, here's one of the cool printed parts. The back of their gloves have these 3 little oval type shapes on them. And then once we put on these finishing details, you can see these hands look really excellent in their shaping. And oh, here it is. Here's the part. So let me finish out the hand and then I'll show you the full shaping because it's just super duper cool. Okay, this one. Oops. All right, so it looks like for Luigi, we're getting a slightly longer finger for one of his fingers than we got for, is that true? Oh, no, that's not true. Is that true? Oh, no, it's not slightly longer. Again, it's that issue with those curved pieces being 1 stud longer now than they used to be, or 1 stud shorter. So, do you have the NES? The controller fits in Mario's lap. I don't, and I've seen people take photos of that, and it made me super jealous because I think that'd be perfect. I want the Game Boy that is that's out right now too. That is another one that's on our list to eventually get, and that would be super fun. But I missed the window of opportunity for the Nintendo, where it's the TV box that you crank it and he actually jumps through the whole scene. It's such a cool set. It's such a cool set, and yeah, I have seen some people use or have it where it shows Mario playing with the controller, and I'm just obsessed. So my goal is to build just the controller because we honestly don't have room for the whole thing anyway, and then be able to post them that way too. So yeah, and my hope is that it fits both of their hands, which I think it should, given that they're scaled correctly for the Mario Karts. But yeah, maybe I can have them battling it out together if I get a second one too. So. All right, we are almost done with one hand, and I'm so excited to show you the details on this because it's really cool. In just a moment. Y'all, thanks again for joining today. So fun to spend time with y'all. All right, this pops on here. So now you can rotate the wrist so that he can be punching or he can be grabbing. You can move the thumb a little bit too. But take a look at the shaping of this fist. It's so cool, and I love the arm. I love the shaping of the arm as well. It is more curved than we have for Mario. So Mario has more like stiff arm kind of shape to him. But this bend also is going to help with the scaling and size vibes of Luigi. It's going to make him look even taller than Mario, even though the scaling is quite similar. Okay, so now that I have it here, you can see this can go up and down, and it can also angle out a little bit too, which is just perfect. It's just so good. Ah. Yesterday, I was playing Mario Galaxy, and in that one, on whatever level I was on, there was this like rock monster that came up out of the ground, and it had like basically like a neck and mouth, and then kind of rocky hair-ish, and then had two arms that could like spin around and punch at Mario. And I kept taking pictures on my Switch of the rock monster because I thought this would be such a fun character to build. And then to have him fighting these two, which that was before I built him, so I thought that he could stand. So I'm going to need to adjust this character to be able to make him stand because I love him so much. And while it's fun to have him in posed mode with his cart, I think it'd be even more fun to have him standing as well. So that might be my next task. I know I talked with Maya in the chat here today about her building Yoshi and me building Princess Peach. But I also, that's another goal that I have, is to figure out how to rebuild so they can stand. So I'm not sure which goal I'll try to tackle first. It's going to be a fun challenge either way. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, Mario, right? Just like, y'all, I'm sorry, this is perfection. It's just perfection. I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed. I think it's really fantastic. Look at the hat. Look at those complex angles of the hat. And remember that Lego builds in 90-degree angles. So how do they get these not even 45-degree angles? You'll wait. If you'll wait, you'll see when we get to Luigi's hat. It's really, really cool. I'm constantly mind blown, impressed with these Lego designers. I was chatting with someone at South by Southwest last week who was saying that her kid loves to build and she doesn't like to. Actually, her kid was with her, and she was really proud to tell me, I don't look at instructions. I just dump all the parts out and I build whatever I want to build. And I said, I love that. I'm so happy that you are building your own creations. That's really cool. And it's a great way to play with the toy. And to, it's one of the things that Lego designers want for kids to do. However, if I may make a slight recommendation, I recommend that you build the set first with the instructions. And that way you can learn from the experts who designed that set some really cool build techniques. And then from there, you'll be able to incorporate those into your future builds that are just completely out of your own brain. And her mom said, oh, that's a great idea. It was like, I don't want to shame this girl. I'm so glad that she is free building. I think that's so awesome. And it's a skill that takes a lot of creativity and inspires imagination and is wonderful and great in and of itself. But I also want her to see there's more that you can also learn from others. And it's a great way to learn from others by building the sets. So if that's you, I also recommend that for you. So let's see. Did not think of a second one. I've had Sylvester on the brain, I'm sure. For sure. Yeah, Mario looks great. Totally agree. Later when you get to it, if you take Mario's eyes and his mouth upside down on Luigi, you get angry Luigi. Okay, that's amazing. I'm excited to try that. That's really fun. You posted a mock-up on Discord. Yay, I'll have to check it out. Speaking of South by, did you see any celebs? Mark Rober, former NASA employee, now a science and engineering YouTuber, posted something about the event, for example. I'm not sure if he attended, though. I'm assuming he was there. Celebs fill Austin during this time. So it gets super exciting and lots of fun. Oh, I found Discord. Let me go back in and see if I can get the link again. Oh my gosh. Okay, I see the face. Okay, that's amazing. Sean, I love that. That is really, really fun. What was I doing? Invite to server. Here we go. Yay. Okay, I'm going to try this again, Brandon. We're going to try copy And let's see if I'm allowed to paste a link into the chat. Yay, it worked. Okay, Brandon, it's right there. Click it, go, go, go. That's super fun. That's nice. So South by Southwest, we get tons of celebrities that come into Austin. A lot of them live in Austin already, but a lot come in just for the couple of days or weeks. I didn't personally see any myself, but Philip went to a dinner at a sushi restaurant that's amazing. It is my favorite sushi restaurant of all time, and it's like definitely got Michelin stars and is incredible. It's called Uchi. But while Philip was there with some people from work that were visiting for South by, he saw and got to sit in the same seat at the same booth of where she just was, his favorite actress of all time, Sarah Michelle Gellar, and he just about lost it because he was so excited to see her. So she was there with Elijah Wood, and they had just finished their meal, so he got a quick picture of them walking out. Didn't get a chance to actually say hello because she was in a rush and had bodyguards all around her. But that was the big celeb sighting this time. And that was actually Philip, not me. So at the event that we were at, it was the Emerging Tech Expo. So I met a lot of CEOs of their emerging tech businesses who came by our booth too. But so I suppose they are celebrities in their own right, depending on how you want to view that perspective or term. But didn't get to see any celebrities myself. They often go to the film screenings for the movies that are coming out that they're a part of. So like Sarah and Elijah Wood were both at the Ready or Not 2, Here I Come film screening. And one of our best friends, Sean, goes and visits or goes to all the movies as well during South by. She gets a film pass, and that was a movie she didn't see because she doesn't like horror movies. So she didn't get a chance to see them, but she saw a lot of other celebrities at hers as well. So it's a really exciting time to be in Austin, for sure. It's also quite chaotic. And the downtown area gets so packed with people who are not from Austin. I think it's like 300,000 people come into town just for South by. And that might even be under like lowballing it. It might be a higher number than that. So it is quite chaotic. And usually the goal as an Austinite is to stay away from downtown unless you're actually participating in it. So I have a lot of friends who every year will volunteer for South by, and that way they can get a film badge or a music badge and be able to listen to some of the live music or see some of the movies in exchange for all of the volunteering. So I've never done that myself, but was debating doing it this year. Just too many things going on. Given that now we had that opportunity to display this year, my hope is that we get a display every year. And if so, then I will probably not ever volunteer because displaying is 3 days of essentially volunteering. So you stayed away. Yes, Bev, you did the right thing that all Austinites are supposed to do. That's our job, right? Honestly, so many people stayed away from downtown that driving into downtown was a breeze. It was as soon as you got into downtown that it was a bit chaotic, but not too bad. And I parked at Philip's office down there, which was a little bit away from all the South by Madness. And then I walked a mile to get there. And so the walk wasn't chaotic because I'm not driving, but there were a lot of people. And I was glad that I wasn't having to drive through that area. So on the last day, I did have to drive over there to pick up our stuff and to pick up Will because I was driving him back to his house. And that was the only day where I was like, oh, I forgot about this mess. All these people, y'all, send them home. They don't belong here. Who are they? So, but yes, all this said, if any of you ever decide to come down to Austin, South by Southwest is a really awesome experience to go to. And we'd love to see you if you're here. Another really awesome and exciting event that you could go to in Austin is coming up this summer. It's called Brick Rodeo. It's a little Lego convention that you may have heard of, maybe on this stream, maybe on Ben's stream, maybe from lots of other people who've gone and said it was amazing. So we'd love to see you at our convention if you get a chance to come sometime. And that's not 300,000 people. That's more like 700 AFOLs coming into town. So it's a lot of AFOLs, which is fun, but it's not like the chaos of South by. So shameless plug for that. Even though I'm not on the planning group this year for it or anything, I still see it as my duty to make sure that I spread the joy and love of Brick Rodeo with everybody. You think you've heard of it? Yeah, I thought maybe you had, Missy. It wouldn't surprise me. You seem to be pretty up with things. So it helped that the local schools were on spring break. Yes. And they always time things to be at spring break for that purpose with South by. I remember when I worked at UT, as South by continued to grow and extend beyond the week long that it used to be like almost 3 weeks long, we ended up getting a lot of complaints about like, y'all, it's impossible because you can't align spring break with 3 weeks worth of time. So now that they've condensed it back down to essentially 10 days, I hope that they keep it that. I think that actually worked better for them. And I think it worked better for a lot of us tonights too. So we'll see. But it is a really interesting and unique experience. I am grateful that we live in a city that has such cool things like this. So you've been giving coworkers flyers for Brick Rodeo, and they are excited about going. Yay! That is so fun. I love when we get to meet each other's people too. It's really fun to be like, oh, that's your boss. Oh, that's your friend. Those are your siblings or your family or whatever. So that's part of the fun of Brick Rodeo is getting to share our love of Lego with our loved ones too. So, all right, we got another fist. Almost done. Got to put on the wrist part of it first. And then we have 3 more bags left, I think. Which that was the same with Mario. There were 3 bags just for his head alone. And so it's a lot of detail. It's a very large head. And Luigi's the same. His is more elongated. But yeah, it looks like a lot of the parts that are the extra parts that this one has that the Mario set does not come in the form of the cart. So when I first saw the pricing, I was a little disappointed that this one was more expensive than the Mario set. But now that I know how many additional parts come in it, it doesn't surprise me. And I actually am surprised that it's not as much more. I think they could have even gone higher priced if they were doing it based on piece count alone. I'm glad they didn't, and I don't want them to. So that's not encouragement for Lego to do that. But yeah, this one does cost a little bit more, and I think it's somewhat justified in the larger amounts of pieces. All right, y'all. He's punching the punching bag. This is really, really nice. This is really cool. Speaking of, I got to talk a little to Ben Grayson. Nice at Brick World Indianapolis a few weeks ago. Fun. It's under 100 builders coming, but they had 11,000 people come attend in the weekend. He was super nice. That's really cool. What did Ben have on display there? I'm curious to know what you got to see of his builds. He is an incredibly talented builder, for sure. And we got the joy of getting to see some of his builds at Brick Fair, Virginia, 2024. This same year as this one, actually. It was, I think, right before Slopes. Yeah, we went to that one, and then we went to Slopes right after. Oh, look, y'all. Okay, I wanted to compare the eyes to see. The eye prints are a little different. So now I see, Sean, why you were saying to switch Mario's and Luigi's eyes. I'm going to show you side by side. Here's Mario and here's Luigi. So Mario has more of the frown type face, more of the like curving in eyebrows, which means they did have to do some graphic design work. Here is a nose. Boop. So perfect. Like, absolutely perfectly shaped. And then y'all, oh, this is a different mustache. This is cool. Okay, so here, I'm going to put it on the nose. Well, I'll show you after. So here's the mustache for Luigi. Notice how it has just the one point here in the middle, and then it's like pretty rounded here. Once you attach the nose on it, that's the full picture, which is just, it's too cute. I can't do it over me. Kind of. But look at Mario's. His has more scalloped edge bottom to the mustache. So that's fun to see that there's a different one. I thought it was the exact same. So the nose, though, I think is the exact same. Anyhow, Ben had brought a number of really cool builds that were part of a collaboration that he had at Brickford, Virginia, and it was just really, really cool. So he has a good group that they all build together, which is really, really smart. So, and he participated in this Pokemon build thing where they built the evolutions of some of the Pokemon, and his was really, really good. So, let's see. He had a castle in the sky. Yeah, so good. A caterpillar and a larger Horizon Zero Dawn tall neck. Awesome. That's really cool. I'm wanting to get Mario Kart. Not really my genre of Lego sets, but the more I read about it, the more I want to get it. Way too many sets I'd like. Yeah, it's the Mario Kart build is a very impressive cart. The Luigi cart, I haven't built that part of it yet, but it has more covered detail. So we dove into the Luigi character first this time, because last time I did the cart first. But you can see there's a lot more like covered paneling details around the outside of the cart, whereas on Mario's, it's much more open in a lot of spaces. Welcome back, Maya. Good to see you. And welcome back to your kiddo from school. Hope you had a good day. But both are really outstanding builds for sure. So here's hoping for Peach next year. Yes, agreed. That's my hope. Fingers crossed on Peach. We were talking about that at the beginning of the stream, and Maya was talking about how she's going to take her hand at building a Yoshi, and I'm going to potentially dive into building a Peach, because I think that'd just be fun to see if I can replicate this scale with another iconic figure from the series. But yeah, my hope is that they do one more round or two more rounds and they build a Peach and they build a Yoshi, and that both of them are on motorcycles. I think that would be super cool. So we'll have to wait and see. No news yet. The first we heard of the Luigi was when Lego teased it last year, or no, not last year, earlier this year, like maybe January, where it was just in a quick video, where it was like the sounds of the bing, 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 and then you saw like a little bit of his cart and part of his head show up as it drove through. And when that came, I thought, oh my gosh, they're gonna do a whole line of them. I just know it. So I really, really hope they do. It'd be fun if we got a Bowser one that this Bowser could just sit in. But I'm sure if they do a Bowser one, they'll include the Brick Belt Bowser. A, for people who missed out on this one, and B, because it's just another opportunity to design another super cool sculpt. So yeah. Yeah, I think the biggest challenge that we'll run into, Maya, is thinking about the faces, not having the printed eyes for them, or printed mouths, and so we may have to borrow from Mario and or Luigi for that purpose, for Yoshi and for Peach. You might run into some challenges with some green and white, because doesn't he have white spots? Am I making that up, or does he just have a white front? Maybe I'm just thinking about the egg that's white with the green spots. I can't remember. Now my brain is like trying to figure that out. Okay, look at this smile. Cute. I like the little chin there, and I like the little like creases on the edges of the smile. A little bit different than Mario's. His is just one singular line. You can barely see there underneath his mustache. All right, let's see. Also, we need a lot more of these parts, or of this color, rather, this peach color, if you will, for their faces. Well, I will for Peach. I think with Yoshi, you'll just need white and green. So, but you will need more of that bright, vibrant green, I think, if that's the color direction you go. That would be my assumption that Lego would do that color. But again, the color doesn't come in as many parts. Luigi is showing us that there's more coming, which is great. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what's to come there. So yeah. All right. What else do we got? So yeah, it is interesting having built these back to back, how the build is ever so slightly different, but still looks the same. Most with like the hands and some of the joints, mostly because of where is the part? Mostly because of this part, and how it's one stud shorter than it used to be. And so on Mario, there's a few of those in there, but most of them are the full-length ones, and that changes the way that some of those are shaped. The eyes will definitely be challenging, more so for Peach, I think. The bright green would be best for Yoshi, but so limited. Agreed, right? Like, I think that'll be the biggest challenge. But again, hopefully we'll get some more of those parts on Pick-a-Brick soon, since we're seeing them in Luigi. I don't know. I'll have to look at New Elementary. I'm sure they did an overview of what parts are new from this set. So if y'all don't follow New Elementary yet, I highly recommend it. They're on Instagram and they have a great blog where they talk all about Lego parts. So when they review sets, they are specifically looking at what parts are new, what parts are recolored, how are they used, and what are some unique ways we can use those parts, which is such a different take than a lot of our other reviewers where we're reviewing the sets. We all kind of have our own approach to it. And so I highly recommend following a few different ambassadors to get their different perspectives and see how they approach things differently if you're interested in that kind of thing. So Maya and I are both reviewers who also have different approaches too, which is really fun. So if you're not following Maya, please do. She's pretty amazing. So also just a good human. And we should support all the good humans in the world. All right. Lots of face pieces before we get to the nose. Like this one is an example of like the double jumper snot, not jumper snot, the double jumper plate. That's newer to me in this color. And so, yeah, there's a lot more pieces in this color that I would like to have. I only have a lot of standard pieces. And then I have a lot of 1x1s and 1x2s because I used a lot of them in my Wicked build, my playbill. But that was when it was a really limited color option. So those aren't that useful beyond simple plating. So, here we're using lots of intentional curves and shapes to create the face shapes and such. So of course, happy to support you always. So also, if anybody ever wants to form a family for life, that's like another family for you, I highly recommend going on Lego Masters. That was such an incredible experience because of the people. Like we really did form some really good bonds. And I love that we have such a great crew that we're forever connected with. It's been just pure joy to have that continue. And for me, in my case, I really did get to know John a lot better as a result of that show. And that's been so much fun too. I think I've shared this before, but we'd never built together until the show. And so we knew each other just through Instagram. And while we knew each other, we didn't know each other super, super well until that experience, and that completely changed things. And now he's basically like a brother for life. So love him so much. And I miss him. It's been a long time since I've seen him. We chat occasionally, but life gets busy and it can be hard to find the time. And so I feel like anytime he's free, if he is free, I try to prioritize being free at the same time because he's hard to pin down sometimes too. He's a busy person as well. So, all right. So this part is odd, but is very similarly built to the way that Mario was built. And this is a portion of the face that I think goes behind the eyes. I remember as I was building it thinking, I don't know what this is going to be at all. New Elementary and Tips and Bricks, yes. They don't have the Luigi card up yet. Oh, okay. Those are your go-tos on new parts. Agreed. They are both fantastic. And I think Tips and Bricks might be on hold from reviewing for a little bit of time. So there might be a little brief pause in their reviewing of sets, but I highly recommend both of those accounts for learning more about builds. I love the way that Tips and Bricks reviews with their rating scale and how they do that consistently across all the sets, and how they ensure consistency with having multiple reviewers, which is more to have to navigate than, Maya or me, where it's the two of us, right? Or sometimes Philip is weighing in and, maybe sometimes Jamie or maybe your son is weighing in too, right? But still a lot easier to keep things consistent with what you're sharing. those two accounts have multiple reviewers and people involved. So they are managing a lot of great people on those teams. And Tips and Bricks, I love their tutorial series. I love their spotlight series. Like, I feel like they do really, really good Lego journalism is how I would describe it. So good stuff. Good shout outs for good people all around, for sure. And I've gotten to meet a lot of the folks involved in both, and I highly recommend them too. They're just great people. So, okay, yeah, just like really odd shapes and things in this, and this is going to be what kind of goes on the interior of the head. So this cup is what's going to attach to the neck over here as well. So let's move these over so you can see them a little better. Look at him. He's got his knees all scrunched up. I just realized I had my knees all scrunched up under the seat. So thank you, Luigi, for reminding me to relax. All right. Okay, so yeah, just really odd things to this. Like, if I had seen this separate from the build, I don't think I would have predicted that this was a part of Luigi. It's so fun. All this stuff is just so interesting. Okay, now we're getting some of the sides of the face. So this is where he has a more elongated face than our friend Mario. And it's got that same type of curve shaping, but Mario's cheeks are a little bit more like rounded and short. Luigi's are a lot longer and deeper, which makes a lot of sense for him. And also, I think would probably make sense for Peach too. Like, I think her head tends to have more of like a point at her jaw. So I'll have to pay attention to that as I'm looking to potentially mock her up. Maya, I forget, do you use digital building techniques or do you do it all physically first? You do such big grand scale builds that it impresses me and would surprise me if you didn't use the digital build techniques, just because I feel like that's what a lot of my friends who do the larger scale things do. I am mostly using that for creating instructions for things later. So for me, it's the opposite order. I build something physically and then I create it digitally for instructions for people when I'm making instructions. And so, yeah, I'm always interested to know people's processes. So, all right. So this is going to go and snap on the back here. And what's interesting is some of the parts aren't actually going to stud in. Wait, did I miss something? I have a missing piece. That's why. Okay, just a moment. You've never used a digital process and you rarely pre-plan either? Wow, that is a bit chaotic, but I love that so much. I think I may have asked you this before, actually, because I think I remember being astounded by you create all these large-scale things without that pre-planning bit. I just don't pre-plan in that way. It's not. It doesn't really work the way my brain works. I can replicate something I built physically easily now that I know how to use the technology, but yeah, I don't like to do the digital building first. And for others, it's the opposite, which is so cool that we all have different approaches. Okay, y'all, look at this. It looks so funny without his nose and mustache. He does not look like Luigi at all to me, but those pieces are so iconic that the moment we put them on, which I know there's probably more that has to go on here, but now instantly recognizable as Luigi. I think that actually is a great example of a skill to consider when you are designing your own mocks of characters, when you're doing character building. You need to think about what is the most important feature of this character that when someone sees it, they will know instantly who it is. Like, it's undeniably our friend Luigi. And in this case, that most important distinguishing feature is, in my opinion, his mustache and his nose, like that portion right there. That alone, even if you get the scale of all the rest of it a little bit wonky and wrong, that's okay because, or it's forgivable because people will still be able to tell the direction that you were going with him. I did a very, very quick mock of Toad back in the day when I was doing my daily builds challenge. And it was one of the many that I was flying through, I think maybe even while I was doing Lego Masters, because I had to finish 8 weeks of builds in a week's time in order to have all the content ready to go. And so it's not my best work by any means, but I tried to nail the colors and shape a little bit of the mushroom head part for Toad. And I look at him now and I'm like, gosh, the shaping is so off. It's so wrong. But I did get the pieces right that needed to be right for people to know who he is. So if you see him, you would recognize him, hopefully, as Toad. So all that said, you can continue to work on and improve your sculpting skills, and you should, for sure. But yeah, that's a fun little tip that I would suggest. So think about the iconic shape that you're trying to, or the iconic feature of that character to make them as recognizable as possible. I think that's also how with microscale building, when people think about building a city in microscale or whatever, think about what building needs to be a part of this city for people to know what city it is, or what feature of this building needs to be part of it for people to know what building it is. So let's see. I missed a lot of great things up here. Okay, Maya says, when I build Yoshi, I'll go on Pick a Brick and filter the bright green and buy a bunch of parts to play around with. That's kind of what I like to do as well, is like have a bunch in my stash that I can just like fidget with until it starts to come together. Missy says, I like to build with parts I have, but I also like to use Studio to test stuff if I think a part that you don't have might work. Nice. Yeah, I will use, I don't use Studio for that, but I will search through parts on Bricklink, and I'll start to try and envision in my mind how those parts might work. If I can. So, and then Bev says, I just build and decide I need to add something usually on the bottom. So I have to unassemble it and start again. I love that. And yeah, that whole disassembling and reassembling, it also teaches you some new techniques and some ways to improve upon it for next time. So I think that's a neat part of the iterative process. And then Sean says, I have aphantasia, where trying to picture something in my brain is a foreign concept. It's hard to draw or sketch, but Studio allows me to hash things out and make rough estimates, and really helps out on that end. That's really cool. Yeah, like this is one of the things that I loved to ask of the Lego designers when I was there for Fan Media Days. I wanted to know how each of them approached building and designing their masterpieces. Like it's just so fascinating to me. And one thing that I loved that I found out through all of that is each one is free to do it however they want to. Lego wants to provide them with the tools that they can use to succeed. So they make sure that it's an individualized process, and that it's not something that they're over engineering or requiring everyone to do the same thing. And then it also frees them up to develop good relationships with others who do different approaches and be able to say, hey, can you help me try this approach? I wanted to do this, but I need a different set of eyes for this. And it's all very collaborative as well. So they do kind of problem solving sessions with each other too. And I just think it's so cool, like such a unique work environment, and one that I would love to get to participate in, like where it's so collaborative. I think that's part of what I loved too about Lego Masters is the opportunity to build with somebody, where in real time we were having to problem solve with minimal time, and high stress, but so much fun. And it made me want to build more with Philip at home, which also he wanted to build more with me too when I got back. And so that's been a lot of fun. But also it's something that you can't really fully replicate. Like it's just a different type of experience that I'm just grateful to have had. All right, we're getting the iconic piece. So I just want to show you with this how this all is going to look. And I can't wait for you to see because it's just so cool. So if you look at this, in my opinion, I'm not seeing Luigi right now. Up until we get this nose and mustache on, I'm not really seeing Luigi. I'm maybe even seeing Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know why that's what came to mind for me, but it's just not Luigi. Now, I put this on, boom, instantly recognizable. And now his little tufts of hair back here make perfect sense to me. And one of the things I think Lego does incredibly well is in sculpting the character, they think about every one of those details. So, where my recommendation was to think about what's the most iconic and most important detail to include. When you're building and sculpting something like this that is going to be sold in stores, you need to think about every single one of those details. So you need to nail the nose and the mustache right, but also what are the eyes and the shapes of the eyes? And how are his eyebrows a little bit different than Mario's that are a little bit more frowny face, right? All of those little things, like just perfect. Okay, I'm glad somebody else saw Seinfeld because I was looking at it and I was like, why am I seeing Jerry? Who invited him? That's really fun. Um, Let's see. Maya says, I've never sculpted before the show. I love that. I love it so much. Learned a lot there. And now I'm leaning even more building. You were learning even more by building these sets. Totally agree. Like the sculpting, I went into the show with a joy of already doing that in small scale, but not on big scale yet. And the show got me to expand and be bigger with some of the sculpting stuff. And really coming back from the show, I've been challenging myself to try and do bigger and bigger, bolder things because of that too. So totally agree. But these sculpted sets, like that to me is why I love getting to review these because I am learning some really interesting techniques. I get that these are expensive. So again, just being realistic about how it's not possible for everybody to get their hands on these sets. If you had a chance to do one sculpted build, to learn from, I would recommend any of these. These two, the Bowser, I think they're just excellent for that. Same goes with the sculpts of the Pokemon sets. I learned so much from them. Also, they're stupid expensive. And most people can't really justify buying all of them. So that's where the Eevee one actually teaches you a ton of really great sculpting techniques. And it's still a good size. So it's not like so small that it's hard to take those techniques and apply them in a bigger scale. It's actually a decent size for, characters about this size. So there's different ways to kind of look at this kind of stuff. So anyway. I get ads all the time on my phone for all different apps that it thinks I need, as I'm sure you all do as well. And I kept getting these ads for this app called Rise that's supposed to help you figure out your best ideal time for being asleep and how much sleep you should get and when you should wake up and when you're most productive. And I downloaded it and took the silly quiz, and I've had it on my phone now for 2 days. It's actually doing something. I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't really trust it, and I don't know that I'm going to pay whatever the fee is to actually have the app work more so and do more for me. But I was kind of surprised. So I'm curious if any of you have used that app and what you think of it. But what I was just thinking about was it told me the window of time that it thinks I should be kind of at my most productive and alert during the day. And I get a text or a notification that's like, hey, your productivity time slot is coming up. This is when you're likely to be most awake and alert. And it actually is right. I was surprised by that. And so yeah, that's been interesting. It says for me that basically like 10:15 to 3:15. So we just passed that end of my productivity time. But what I would say is that like, if I prioritize doing things that I need focus and attention on during those windows, it actually can help with my productivity overall. So yesterday, I was super productive during those times with a variety of different things. And then I went for an afternoon walk, and I got another notification that said I had an energy boost because of my walk, and that there was like extra time that I should be more productive because of that. And it's true, like your endorphins are more active, or that's probably not how that's said. You get more endorphins as a result of walking and exercise. And so it was nice to be like, wow, this afternoon walk was more than just like getting out in the sunshine. Like it actually did help me with my energy. So, and also it could be the placebo effect where I'm like, oh, well, this app is on my phone now, so now I'm more productive, and it could be nothing related to any of that stuff. But I do think that there's maybe some truth to it. So I likely won't pay for it because I pay for too many things already. So I do think though that some apps like that can be really helpful. I've used Noom before, and I used it more successfully before than I am this year, but it's still helpful. And that's really helpful with nutrition and just eating better. And I feel like I was learning so much when I was actually going through the lessons that it has you do every day and all that kind of stuff. I was really strict about it with myself a couple years ago, and I really enjoyed it. I felt like I was learning a lot. And then for a while, I felt like I was putting a lot of that stuff into practice, and then I kind of fell off the wagon. Travel made it challenging to stay up to date on everything. And when I came back from a bunch of trips that were Lego conventions, it was hard to kind of pick back up. So, but I'm less strict about it now, but I still feel like it's helping. I do want to encourage myself to actually do the lessons that come with it, because I think that was the piece that was a little bit more helpful. Plus, I love learning. So those parts are often the most interesting parts to me of those types of platforms or programs or things. But Noom is one that I have paid for and that I still pay for and recommend. I think it's a good one. Okay, this now, what did I do? Oh, I forgot to attach these two together. So let me check. I'm getting something from my vet. This is what I was thinking I would need to do. Oh, okay, never mind. This is unrelated. And let me just make sure I didn't miss any calls. I did not. Okay, so we're good for now. Okay, so these connect like so. Here we go. Okay, perfect. Nice. All right. This is an odd shape, but this is going to be the back of his head and the back part of his hat, I believe. So, and now I'm getting into some techniques that look pretty familiar that were similar in Mario. So there's some clips that kind of do the sides of the hat here. And I'm guessing the angling that we get for this interesting shape here for his hat is also going to be similarly done, if not identical. So fun to see. All right, so this goes. Goodness, I got distracted. Here we go. There we go. This one goes here. Okay. So, oh, nope, still on here. So, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. So this clips here and curves in, and then we're going to fill in some gaps here with some other pieces that kind of lock that in place. So Grayson would like to share that he and I are working on a Lego mosaic for the LCP in Toronto for a client. I love that. That is so fun. He's doing a great job as my little helper. Well, tell Grayson hi, and that it's good to hear from him, and that I hope he is having fun with his mom. That is really great to hear. I love that you have LCPs up there and that you've been able to work with them on some things. When I worked on the Wicked project, after it was over, the producer who worked with me from Lego said, I really want you to be connected to these LCPs who do some really great things. And if there's ever opportunity to work with them, I'd love for you to. And they were all in Canada. And I was like, I love that. And I don't think I'll be able to, because I think they often do things up that way. So, but that's really wonderful to hear. I saw that that you worked with, I think, Nick on something, right? So if that's the case, I think it was the same grouping of people. From there. So I can't remember the name of the LCP that she introduced me to through email, but that's really fun, and I'm happy that you're getting opportunities to do some really cool builds things. So, okay, so this, what did I do wrong here? Oh, okay. Okay, I did this on the wrong side. Shoot. Just a moment. I need to build the other side of this. Where's that piece? Here we go. Okay. Not sure if you can hear Penny, but she is coughing still. And it's been another week of going to doctors and seeing if they can help and not getting answers that we think would be helpful. So the docs are great that we're going to. It's just a mystery. So it's been some added stress lately. Hey, girl. You okay? I know. Why don't you get some water? Drink your water. It's like a noise that we've not gotten used to. I don't want to say that because that's not really true, but it's a noise that like we've kind of gotten accustomed to having in the background and knowing that we are doing everything that we can, despite the fact that we're not able to stop the coughing from happening. So it's really tough puppy parenting. So yes, Graham, awesome. That's who it is. So she introduced me to him, and he's so great. He's so nice. So I love that you get to work with him. That's really cool. Yay, awesome. Okay, you also got to meet Robin Sather from BC, who's the other Canadian LCP. That's really cool. Oh, he's the judge for Lego Masters New Zealand. Okay, then I have seen him in one episode because we watched the first episode of the first season, I think, and then weren't able to continue for a little bit. So that is so fun. It would be fun to have you up here and working with us. I mean, I would love that. If there's ever an opportunity to travel and work with y'all on some things, I would be down. / maybe we just need to move so that we can be near you and work with you on all the things all the time. That would be fun. So, okay. So as you can see, we filled in some of those details with some hair pieces and also the green for his hat. And now that kind of locked that little hinge piece in place. Here's the other side, and I'm going to be doing the same on this side as well. So Penny is just wandering in circles like she likes to do. Hi, girl. She wants some attention, which we thought that like her appetite was dying down, and we were like, oh no, don't lose your appetite, that's not good. But that's not the case at all. When she has a TREAT, she is perfectly fine to eat it. And there's certain things that she will eat gladly. So it's just we think that we had tried to get her to eat her meds with her food, and we think that soured her on her food, but she's eating it right now, y'all. I can't tell you how happy this makes me because this food has been out since this morning, and she normally like devours it instantly. And it's been a couple of days of her being really picky. So please eat your food. Please eat all of it. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay. Okay. And I feel like I have to be quiet because I don't want to disrupt her eating. I'm like, no, just keep going. Just keep swimming. So this is a glimpse into our life and what we've been navigating here, which is, yeah, lots of fun. So we love her so much, though. She's our little baby girl. She's not that little anymore, or not that baby anymore. She is a little bit older, but we still see her as our baby girl. Let's see. Bob on Tour says, I build Lego sets when I need to regulate, follow someone's instructions. When I'm happy and regulated, I like to free build. I love that. And I think both are valid and important uses of this hobby. And I think that's something that Lego has really tapped into with the adult market, is realizing this can be used for mindfulness and regulation and de-stress and all types of things. And it can also be used as a tool for creativity and growth and all different types of things as well. And so I think there's a time and a purpose for all different types of things. with this. I think that was something that was a little interesting and kind of stressful about the show was you had to be really on the creativity mode all the time. And if you ever needed to regulate, it was a little bit tough to find the time for that. I was very nervous that my anxiety was going to get the best of me during the show. And I actually found that it fueled me, which was surprising but cool. And worked out really well in my favor for that. So I'm grateful that that was what happened. But I know that that was not necessarily the case for everybody, or wouldn't necessarily be the case for everybody. So, and yeah, similarly, like there are times when I just want to follow instructions and that navigating the routine of all of that and whatnot is peaceful and positive and helpful for me. And then there are other times when I'm just needing a creative boost and I am in a good zone to be able to kind of dive into some fun. And so the free building can be equally as fun and different approach for me too. So Bob, where are you? I always want to say calling in from. It's so funny to me that that's like where my mind goes. Where are you dialing in from? Whereabouts are you watching? I am in Austin, Texas, so in the middle of this giant state. Okay, y'all, here, you know how I said these complicated angles that we get in the hat? Well, this is how it's done. So here you can see we're using these Technic axle pieces and the ones that bend in the middle to create that interesting angle. And then in here, we have those holes in the bottom of these plates where it all attaches. So this goes in here like so, and that allows this to angle ever so slightly down. And then this part can go up and angle ever so slightly up at a different angle. So now that we have that here, you can see there's axles in the back of his head here, and that's going to attach here. And just look at that. Like that angle is so different than what you typically build with Lego. And it's just genius to me. So we push that in. These pieces that were on those hinges slide out just enough to fit over the other green there. But look at that angle on the back of the head. Like that's just so cool. So freaking cool. And then we add the ears, which I want to check the ear prints and see if they're the same. Looks like these look identical. So this is the left ear and the right ear is the opposite orientation, of course. But they look identical to what we see with Mario. Good girl, Penny. Y'all, I can't tell you how excited, like that is the biggest sigh of relief. We have been holding our breath for her to eat, and she has not been eating today. And it's like, girl, we need you to do this. We need you to eat your food. So, hey, pretty girl. Hi, lady. Hi, you want to come over here? Here. Hi. No? Okay. Well, I love you. There you are. Pretty girl. Good girl. Sorry, I have to praise her and give her lots of great attention right now because she did a really good thing. Yes, you did. Good girl. Your dad's going to be so happy. He's going to be so proud of you. Poor girl. It is so hard to have a dog be not doing so swell and not be able to help them fully. All right, the ears for Luigi stick out less than the ears for Mario. So they're closer to the head. Mario's stick out further from the head. And they connect with the black robot arms that were in there that I thought was really weird. Like, why is that in here? Oh, for a perfectly valid and awesome reason. Because Lego designers are geniuses. That is so, so cool. Oh, I'm so relieved. I didn't realize how much I was still holding my breath about her not eating. And then the coughs happen again. Poor little lady. We really love her so much. Okay, for some reason, in one side the ear went really far in, and in this side it's... Oh, there we go. There we go, y'all. So cute. Okay. We are on to our final bag, which is the top of the hat. Okay, this is kind of looking creepy. Let's flip them. So we've got Mario a little bit further out. We've got Luigi further in, so we can see how it all comes together. Oh, she's back at it. Yay, that's the dog we love and know. Barking up a mile a minute, yelling at the neighbors. Stay off my lawn. She's such a bully. Of course, the person who talks all about kindness has a bully for a dog. We love her so much. She's really amazing. Good puppy. Y'all are seeing a very like emotionally lovey-dovey person today from me with Penny. She's got me in my feels today. So y'all, this is a fun large piece. And I'm excited for the big L for his hat. Printed. I'm sure some people will complain that this white is not super bright, vibrant white. That often happens with the printing of white on another color, but honestly, I think that's fine. It looks about the same vibrance as the M, so I think that's fine to me. I get when people disagree, but I tend to want to give grace with that kind of stuff because I'm like, y'all, they can't necessarily do magic. So if they could, then they would have, right? But you know, maybe sometimes I give them too much of a fair pass, but my thought is like, this is excellent, and maybe it could be perfection instead of excellent, but can we also be happy about excellent? So that's my thought on it. I think they need to start doing 2 passes on the white printing, and that would solve most issues, but not sure on how accurate that would be. Agreed. I think this is where, you know, if you simply look at the storytelling of the Lego history and the whole story around their motto of only the best is good enough, and how that was really around their son, his son skipping a step on the glazing of the ducks, and telling his dad, I saved us some money and some time by reducing the amount of glazing that we do for these. And the dad said, no, you need to get all of those back from the post and glaze them one more time because only the best is good enough. We don't produce products that are subpar. Great story, interesting piece about the company. I think speaks a lot to the quality, but I think that also leads people to hold Lego to a almost impossibly high standard at times. And when you think about things like this, which I'm glad that you said exactly the challenge that I think they run into, if they were to do 2 passes through a machine, the number of times that machine would ever so slightly be off center, and then that L would be like wonky, or the M would be wonky, makes it to where they would have to throw away many, many, many parts that wouldn't be produced perfectly, or they'd have to send them to people misprinted, and they don't like to do that. And so I am glad that they haven't, in trying to solve the problem, created more problems. But I get where people get a little disappointed in it not being as strong of a quality of a print as it could be. I just think very few people think about the logistical details, like you just mentioned, of having multiple passes through a machine, and having to have it be perfectly precise, which it's not a human error. That's a machine error for it to be like off a little bit. And that is unfortunately a reality when it comes to production facilities. So I say all that having worked for a test and measurement company that designed products for other engineers to do test and measurement. And I worked with engineers who were the most critical of things needing to be as perfect as possible. And I really valued working with them because they cared so much about quality. Almost to an extreme extent. So, but you know, that was actually, it ended up being a really good thing too. So, all right. More finishing details here for the shaping of the hat and head. And his hat, I think, goes up a little bit more than our other friend Mario. We'll see in a second once we get to that point. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is really fun. Okay, it's 3:41. Okay, so just a handful of pages left, and then we will have completed. And I will have completed a Mario and a Luigi today. Let's go. Maybe I'll celebrate by playing some Mario Kart tonight. It's been a very long time since I played Mario Kart, actually. I usually play Animal Crossing, and for a little bit was going in and out of Fortnite. I still do, but it's been a little bit of time since I've done that. But my two go-tos are Animal Crossing and Mario Galaxy, because Philip got me Galaxy for Christmas. And he got me Odyssey for my birthday, but Galaxy came with Galaxy and Galaxy 2. And so I want to finish Galaxy, and then I want to try Odyssey and see which one I like better, Odyssey or Galaxy, and then either switch to Odyssey for the next patch until that's done, or go back and finish Galaxy first. So we shall see. But yeah, I'm a little bit of a completionist with those types of things, and so I say that, but also I have a lot of hobbies that I get started on and then they kind of are stuck in frozen mode. So one example is the embroidery, a hobby that I started in December. I got real excited about it and I did it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just kind of stopped. And I am partially done with a sweatshirt that I wanted to finish while we had cold weather to wear sweatshirts. And it's an Animal Crossing themed sweatshirt, y'all. It's so cute. And it was my own design, and I was really proud of it. But yeah, I just kind of froze that hobby. Honestly, I blame Pokemon, which really I should blame Lego, because they're the ones who sent me the Pokemon sets, so it's their fault. Okay, y'all, I love this piece. Hello, Hector. Hector's in the chat. These pieces that have just the little chip out of the edge there, of those tiles, I just think they're really helpful. So yay, thank you for sharing a favorite memory. I'm glad someone followed the rules. Just kidding, but I'm really glad you shared one. So favorite memory of Mario Kart is playing on the Wii with my sister and cousins and getting our parents to join in also with us. That is so fun. I'd love to hear that. Thank you for sharing and for answering my question of the day that I need to post those earlier, I think, for people to see them potentially, or maybe post them in my Instagram stories, so people are prompted to think about that as they're coming in. All right, y'all, we're adding in the L for loser. Just kidding. The L for Luigi, my favorite. Y'all, I'm so glad that I get to have both of these. They're so cute. And I feel so freaking lucky. This is like such a joy to get to do. Good stuff, good stuff. Hector, how's work been? Yay. Missy says, I think that's probably one of my favorite new tiles. Agreed. It is so versatile, and you can use it for interesting shapes and lines and all different types of things. I have loved having more of them. I got a few that I could use with the Wicked sets that are in black and in white, which is great because now I can do like floor patterns and stuff. But I want them in more multicolor options too. So I need to buy some off of Pick a Brick. So, and I was teasing about the prompt, and no shade to anybody who didn't answer it. I just put I started a Q&A thing on YouTube so that when people came to the page before it started, it has a Q&A. And the question is, share your favorite memory of Mario Kart, or share your favorite memory of Nintendo or Lego Mario. So the prompt, so Sean says, I used to play Mario Kart and Smash on N64 in college. So many nights our room was hopping with people trading in on playing it. That is so fun. I love how it can be a community building thing. Like that's literally something that I think is so cool. And in a college environment, I think it's perfect. Like gaming can be such a natural way for people to connect. And it was honestly something I didn't do in college, but I was heavily involved in all these other activities that I wasn't in my room all that much. I think had I been in my room more and been around others that were gaming, I probably would have gotten sucked into it easily. And then Missy says, I only played Mario Kart a few times. I thought I was player 2 and I was doing really good. After the race, I found out I was player 4 and kept crashing into the wall. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's amazing. And I've done that way too many times when the screen is split. I have been following the wrong character and then I'm like, oh shoot, that's not me. And I look over and I'm like, running into the wall. Totally been there for sure. Hector says, it's been busy yesterday and Monday, thankfully slow today. Good, good, good. Now I get to relax at my desk, do some documentation while watching you build. Yay! I'm happy that I can distract you from or keep you company while you're doing your fun work projects. So, okay. So remember this fun little axle that we saw in there that allows us to be at a cool angle. So we got the really stupid cool angle here on the back left. I said stupid cool. That's weird. Super cool. Let's go with that. This one now slides on like this with this little axle hole that you see in the middle right there. So really, really neat. This is going to slide in like so. And y'all, he's so cool. This is so cool. So I'm guessing the rest of the green is going to help with covering up those little studs because it looks like Mario's is completely covered there too. Oh no, it was already supposed to be on and I forgot. So I missed that part of the step. So let me put those in. Ooh, y'all, that might have been, ooh, that was the last step before we put the head on. I just didn't know these pieces were already on. I missed those in, I don't know what previous step, but in one of them. All right, fully finished hat. Perfect angles, y'all. It's just, it's so cool. And now for my final act, we will attach the head using this cup onto this ball joint. Like so. Whoops. Uh-oh. Something didn't go well. Let's try this again. This popped off. And the ear's popping off. Okay, what is happening here? Huh. There we go. He's done, y'all. Look at him. Yes. Yes, brother. I love this so much. Okay. My favorite character to play when I was a kid, early on, when you didn't have super tons of options, was Mario or Toad and Yoshi. Those are like the three that I cycled through. Now there's even more options that you can play with, which is really fun. And so I'd have to go back and look. Maybe if I play again today, then I can come back and share with y'all. Not next week, because we will be off live streaming for, will it be 2 weeks or one? Let me look at the calendar real quick. Oh, I've got one right behind me. Let's see here. This feels like a movie, like, or like a cheesy sitcom. We leave then. Okay, so we're gone. We get back on Wednesday the 8th, so I probably won't go live again until Thursday the 9th. I might go live. We'll see. Stay tuned and keep your eyes peeled for that. I may go live tomorrow. I'm debating. We have some packing to do for the trip, and we have some other things to handle with Penny, like I mentioned. And so I want to prioritize all the home things, of course, first and foremost. But I may go live tomorrow, so we'll see. So look at these two. They're so cute. I love the size of the characters. I think they're really fantastic. I really am disappointed in the bottom of Luigi's shoes. As you can see, I think it's fun that they have some finished detail on the bottom of Mario. But like I said, his whole body sits to where his feet are hidden inside of his cart. Mario's feet, you see the bottom of his feet when he's sitting in the cart. So it's more purposeful and intentional for him to have the round pieces on the bottom of his feet. And you really only see like partial parts of them with that too. But yes, really, really fantastic build techniques and scales. I'm loving all of the details. I think they nailed the details of these sculpts. So here are the two characters. We are going to take a look at Mario's cart, since I don't have Luigi's built yet. And we're going to see if Luigi could ride in it. I don't know if he can because he has those bended knees. But let's take a look. So Let me move some of these things away. All right, so here we have Mario's vehicle. And I'm going to angle it so that you can see. Let's see. There we go. I think now you can kind of see inside a little bit, the way that's angled. Well, let's see. I do love this posing stand because you can do all different types of angles. It's a really genius design. It's very simple. And that thing in the middle can go left or right. But then this hole, there's a little hole in the bottom of the vehicle that it rests on. And by rotating this in all different directions and getting to go left and right with it, it allows you to go straight down, or you can rotate the car, and the car's angled up at an angle. Like it's really, really smart design. Okay, so here we have Mario's Kart. Duh. Here we have Mario. Mario sits inside Mario's cart like this. And like I said, you can see just the very tips of his feet in there, like not significantly, but they are more visible. The wheels turn. And when you turn the wheels, or when you turn the steering wheel, the wheel turns back and forth. Yay! Thanks, Bev. Yeah, a lot of fun. We need a toad of that size now. That was my favorite. Agreed. Maya says, love the build. So happy that we built the same set on the same day. I love that too. That is so fun. They do look so good together, right? It's just fantastic. Also seeing, I slightly fibbed. I was a residential high school senior year, and we had floor curfew around 9 p.m. So everyone was either doing homework or playing in each other's rooms. So that helped. I love that. That's really fun. But yeah, love the way that the cart works, and it's so perfect. I love the way that he poses in there. But let's just, for the sake of it, see. Luigi, what do you think about driving it? Honestly, I think it works. I think it works perfectly. Okay. Someone had said it's a bummer that they can't switch, but it actually looks to me like he can. The difference is Luigi doesn't have the same rectangular section on the attached to his bottom, whereas on Mario he does. He's got this whole section like that he sits on that is fully attached, and so this studs in on the left and right here. You can see on the inside of the cart how we've got just the studs that are in the light bluish gray on the left and right, but that middle section is tiles. So, oh, something came off. Let's reattach that. But it looks like we can swap them at least one way. I don't know about the other way, so I'll have to finish Luigi's cart and get a sense for if he can also share his cart with his friend too. Oh, and his side fell off. Let's get that back on. But yeah, these are really, really fantastic scale. Also, I kind of just like, he looks like he's holding his knees and he's just like, you know, hi, I'm just little old me. He's so cute. I think the shaping of Mario's cart also was really fantastic. The wheels, one of the things I loved was this little line here, this little like open line, and the angles that we get with the red, white, and blue there. It's really, really solid. So really good scale. Other things to show scale. We've got the blue shell. Whee! And I think that works pretty well too. I really like the bent legs for Luigi. Agreed. I just think they're so cute. It's like such a perfect little pose. And honestly, it gives him more personality if he's posed outside of the car, whereas Mario just looks a little bit more static. Mario is kind of giving me Toy Story Woody vibes with this pose, with his legs like straight out. Even though I guess Woody has knees technically, like it just looks like a stuffed animal bear or whatever. This looks a little bit more like a living character or creature. Okay, we're going to show you one other scale, actually two other scales. So we got this guy, of course. If we look at some of the other sculpted builds together, we've got our friend here, which I think this scale of the of this could be actually larger. So I don't think this scales perfectly well with them, especially because the pot, they would need to be able to jump inside that pot. So I would love to see this twice the size. I think that would be great. That's one thought here. And then let's take a look at them with Bowser. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. Okay, y'all. This is so cool. This scale feels, I don't know, a little off. What are your thoughts? Do you think this is like the right height and size? Or do you think Bowser should be a little bigger? I love this Bowser, by the way. I think it's a fantastic sculpt. Also, when I was moving him the other day, I accidentally did this and I was like, wait, that is a play feature? Y'all, this is something that is brilliantly included in this. You can see there's this little spot in the side where you push it and it twists the head one way. You push it and it twists the head the other way. I didn't know it did that. And I built it like a year ago, but I think I just like missed that was part of the detail. Or what's possible is I forgot, because also my memory can sometimes be not great. But I was moving it and I was like, wait, what just happened? Oh my gosh, that's so cool. So, and then you can open his mouth even further, I think. Is that right? Oh, that's right. So if you tilt his head back, he launches out the fireball that just shot across the room. So I'm gonna have to find that. What I can't remember though is if there was a way. Oh, that's okay. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this too. There's a little hinge here. Ah! Okay, y'all. No, I don't need to be bigger. I'm happy with my size. Feed me tacos. Y'all, I don't know. I'm just in a goofy mood. So I think he's too short for Mario or Luigi if they were standing up, but for a cart, way too big as it is a huge cart. Agreed. Like, honestly, I think it'd be really fun to try and squeeze him into one of their little carts, because I feel like in the Mario Kart game, he's always like jam-packed in, and it's this massive body. So the scale of him with one of those carts might actually be okay. But I would say these characters feel like if only I could unbend his knees. I kind of want to, because I want him to relax. He's probably like pretty sore after keeping his knees bent like this all the time. But yeah, if you could unbend his knees, he would be almost as tall as Bowser, right? Actually. Okay, this is my new favorite pose. Y'all, I might attach something where he can actually stand on the ground like this, because it looks like he's like looking under the car, like looking under the bed for something. Baby, look at this. His knees are bent. So look, so he sits with bent knees. Yes. And then Mario's legs are like straight out and his arms are straight out. He's got bent knees, bent elbows. Philip just came in and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at my new toy. Also, did you know that this happens? Did you not show me that? I probably did show you this a year ago. He's right in that I just forgot. But I love that you can kind of do all these different things. Luigi can stand on his own, right? Just in an awkward way. Yeah, there are some fantastic functions in this guy. The posability, like I love that his elbows and his shoulders can go. So you can really do a lot of posing. You can't, you can pose his thumbs to have him grasp onto things, but the other fingers stay put. The legs, I think, are pretty stiff, and the tail is a little bit stiff too. Yay! Maya's there, and Sean, and who else? Brandon was there, Hector's there, Missy and Bev. Brett, hi Brett! Yay! Good to see you. Welcome. We just built Luigi on the feed today. I was thrilled to get him after getting to build Mario's Kart last or 2 weeks ago. I know, what the hair cute. It's really cute. He said those are little curls. Since I have my AirPods in, I'm not sure if people can hear you. But yes, everyone says hi, Philip.
Tell them hi, everyone. Yay. If you can't hear me.
He says, tell them hi if they can't hear me. If you can hear him, you heard him twice. They look so good, right? I'm super impressed. I love, also the mustache is different. Look at how on Mario's, he's got the scalloped mustache. And then on Luigi, he has just like the regular, not regular, but like a less scalloped. It's just like has the little...
What piece is that?
It's a brand new piece.
For both of them?
For both of them. So the nose and the mustache are new pieces. This is Mario's. And I'll show you all too. So here's the nose. Perfect button nose, which this piece I want in multiple... I want multiples of, because I think we could use this in a lot of ways. It is not focusing. Here we go. There we go. Perfect little button nose. But yeah, this is Mario's mustache, and I love the scalloped edge around the bottom.
I don't like him without a nose and mustache.
No, he looks so creepy without it. That was one thing we were talking about on the chat is a tip for when you're... Oh my God. Okay, it's kind of giving like... That I was thinking Chucky, but maybe I'm wrong. I just am scared of Chucky, so anything that looks creepy to me is Chucky. And doll-like. Anyway, we were talking about how when you are designing a character, you need to think about the most iconic shape or feature of that character to replicate so that when people see it, it's instantly recognizable. And for Mario and Luigi, my argument would be it's the large nose with the mustache. Those are the most important pieces. If you get the shaping wrong of his face and everything, it's okay. Obviously, you want to improve upon that and get it to the place where it's really good quality, like these two are. But if you are new to sculpting, brick sculpting, finding out those key features or details of a character is going to help people instantly know what you're building. So that's my big tip of the day that came out of really getting to design these incredible sets. Brett, thank you so much. That's kind of you to say. I really appreciate the call out to encourage people to like. And thanks for those who've liked the feed. I really appreciate that. Grayson says Mario looks creepy without the mustache. Agreed. Agreed. So does Luigi. Earlier when we were doing Luigi's face, I was saying that I couldn't figure out what character he was giving, but he was reading to me a little bit like Seinfeld. And the funny thing is, Sean also thought the same thing. And I was like, okay, it's not just me. But yeah, you take off that mustache. Like, obviously it's Luigi because the L on the hat and the green and whatever. But truthfully, the most iconic piece of his shaping that makes people know, it's that mustache. It's that mustache and that large button nose. So now you're traumatized. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Grayson. I promise it doesn't hurt. They say thank you for putting our mustaches back on, but it's okay. So yeah, they do look creepy without them though. I agree for sure. The nice thing is, oh, you know what would be fun? In order to not traumatize you, I'm going to turn them this way. But see if I can do this. You probably know what I'm doing. Oh. Well, actually, I think I can. Okay, I'm going to have to do a picture of this one for sure and share this with others beyond our fun feed. How do I... Let's see. I have an idea. Thanks for holding. You probably know what I'm doing. And you're probably right, and it's going to look fantastic. I have to use some extra pieces to make this work, though, because I don't quite have all the pieces I need for this. Let me see. You know what? We're just gonna, we're gonna fudge it a little bit because, we'll just do that. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Sorry for the brief hold. Thanks for your patience. What if I were to do... I have more parts in the other room that I could easily do this with, but I'm being stubborn and I don't want to leave this room. So we're just going to keep playing until I get this way. Are you ready for the reveal? It's not as good as I wanted it to be, but it's still fun. He's like, no, please get rid of this mustache for me. No, thank you. Rah, it's awful. Okay, but I do want to show you what Sean just said in the chat about don't forget the eye mouth swap for angry, because that was a really smart suggestion in here. So let me piece back together my little Bowser without a mustache, because you know he's not too keen on the mustache, and I get it. It's not a vibe that everyone can pull off for sure. Only some of us can pull it off. Sorry, Bowser. Anyhow, I want to show you what Sean had thought about switching the eyes, because it actually works really well. Okay, yeah, that's really creepy. I don't like Mario without his mustache. Oh my, let's find a brick separator so I don't destroy my nails. There we go. There we go. Okay, almost done. Put his nose back on. He's like, thank you. How rude of you to take me all apart. Okay, much better. Back to normal. No more scary. His snout is perfect, though. Like the shaping is so good. I'm going to put the mustache on Pikachu. Yes, I love it. I love that idea. I'm now wanting to put the mustache on every sculpted character that I can find. I think that's going to have to be a photo series that I'll do for sure. So excited to see your Pikachu with him. Y'all, even without the nose, it still, I feel like, reads as Mario. But obviously that round nose is like just perfect for him. So the thing that was that, I won't show you his face because it's going to look scary without this. But the thing that Sean was suggesting was if you take the eyes off of Mario and swap them for Luigi's eyes, because they're more angry. And then if you flip his mouth upside down, it makes an angry Luigi. Which honestly, I'll probably also need Mario's mouth because his mouth is a little bit different. Mario's mouth is just the one smile, so it looks easier as a frown really easily. So as a reminder, here's what he looks like now. But someone just messed with his Subway sandwich. I don't know. Someone just messed with his dessert, and he is not happy about it. Let me show you what he looks like when he's not happy. Oh, this is also helpful to see the difference in the eyes. Mario's eyes are actually larger and a little bit more round. But I didn't see them until I had one eye on and the other eye off. Okay, this is fun. It's harder to get to his mouth than I want it to be. And I'm trying not to expose his scary face to you all while it's... Oh my gosh, Mario. I'm going to have nightmares. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. Okay, very smart idea. Very, very smart idea. This is great. Somebody's poisoned the water hole. Not happy. Okay, that's actually really fun. I do love that you can swap those eyebrows and on the face and make him sad. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. The chin doesn't work upside down. LOL, we flipped it in Photoshop. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was going to say it doesn't look like it's going to work because... And that makes sense because of the chin. So, okay, I'm going to swap these back because I want them to be the way they're supposed to be. But thank you for that suggestion. I'm glad that we got to experience that together everybody. Thank you for joining the fun. And I just want to show you the eye difference with just the eyepieces side by side so you can see. So Mario's eyes have the more dramatic eyebrow. So they're the ones on the right. And you can see his eyes are a little bit more, come on, focus. There we go. They're a little bit, just a tad wider. So they're a little bit more rounded, whereas Luigi's are a little bit taller. So yeah, cool. Good stuff. Okay, let's get you eyes again because you're creeping me out. There's one. Give him his regular eyes. Also, they look really weird when you put one eye of each. The eyebrows make a big difference in the way that looks. Yeah, that's sad face though. Let's give you a happy face again, Luigi. You know what we need is a scared face for Luigi. That's what he actually needs as a swap, because that would be perfect for the scared Mario or scared Luigi in Haunted Mansion, Luigi's Haunted Mansion. All right, he's back to happy again. Yay! Let's go. Even though he's not the one who says that. Off to get started on dinner. Okay, sounds good. Thanks again for joining. It's fun to see you, friend. Hope that you have a wonderful dinner. All right, and tell everyone hello. Bye, Grayson. Good to see you. I hope that your build with your mom goes really well. All right, finishing out our Mario again. This is too fun. Oops. Oh, no. Oh, no. The bottom is hard to install. It's what's interesting about the inside of Mario's face is this portion that has the mouth. It connects using these, what do you call them? These brackets by going up and pushing up towards it. But you can see how it bumps against that little, sorry to traumatize you, it bumps against that little stud sticking down. That is to get that angle right, but it's kind of an odd approach. Okay, he's back to relatively happy again. Good stuff. Okay, y'all, this has been so much fun. Okay, so I think we all agree scale-wise, Bowser could probably be a little bit larger if we were to combine all these characters together. Scale-wise, the Piranha Plant, the head needs to be larger. I think the neck is probably the right length, but then the this thing is bigger too. Okay, I have to log off right now because it looks like the medicine people are calling for Penny. But thanks all for joining. If I join tomorrow, I will post that I'll be live tomorrow. And yeah, otherwise, build kindness. Sorry for the rush off.